To score in sparring with combination doesn't have to be crazy complicated. It just needs to be simple, straightforward, and therefore effective. If you find your combinations aren't scoring, here's a few reasons why. So the first combination is really simple and when performed correctly can be really effective. It's making sure you use your front hand for the snap punch to open up an opportunity to score with a reverse punch. Now, the reverse punch can be done either to the stomach or the head, depending on your preference, and if anything, it's how your opponent reacts when you do the first attack and you move towards them. So the key to this combination is to make sure you have the correct movement and really sell this first punch. So this way, when your opponent reacts to this punch, you then got an opportunity to then score with your other hand. Whether that is to the stomach or to the head will depend on how your opponent reacts. So the breakdown of this combination is to make sure that you advance forward on every single punch. Especially the first punch, you want to make sure you fully advance forward and you close that gap between you and your opponent. Keeping this hand up, you keep your foot forward and you drive your punch towards the target before putting your hand back and you retreat. It's making sure that as you go forward and you speed up, your movement is almost continuous, but you're selling the first punch before driving home the second punch, and gradually you have a bit less pause and your movement continuously goes forward and back as you deliver the punches. It's making sure that every single time this hand goes towards the target and you're not missing going out to the side or going up, or worse, not actually extending your punch properly. Really make sure you extend this to make it look as if they need to block this punch, and then you're going forward every single time, making sure you're snapping that reverse punch. So if you're performing kicks on their own and you're really struggling to try and score them, whether your opponent's moving back or blocking them, it's really important that you set yourself up, like we talked about before. Setting yourself up, get yourself in a good position, get your opponent in a position where you can score your kicks really, really easily. So to change things up a little bit, when you're doing reverse punch, instead of attacking them straight on, which, if anything, if you attack them straight on to then try and perform a roundhouse kick, their block is already going to be quite low and they're going to be prepared for a kick that's coming. You want to try and change their mentality so that they open themselves up, so then you've got an easier chance to score, which means now we're going to go slightly off at an angle. But what that doesn't mean is we're going to go all the way over here because my body line is completely off target. We're only going to change it very slightly so that I'm going away, but I'm still trying to score this punch. Like we said, if you don't give this away, they're going to see this kick very easily. You want to make them think about this punch. So as you move off to the side, you're going at a slight angle into a deep stance, and then you're set up very nicely to do a back leg wash going to the body. So the key to this combination is movement. Now, if you move off to the side too much, you're going to end up being too far away to deliver a really nice strong body kick. The idea is to think like you want to graze past their shoulder, but you still deliver a nice strong punch. So they have no choice but to block this. And then this way, you're in a really good position to kick with your back leg and deliver a nice strong roundhouse kick to the body. And that is a really good, easy 2 points to score. So it's making sure that you deliver a nice strong punch to the target while you're going off at a very slight angle rather than straight towards them. And then this way, your hips are set up really nicely to deliver a nice strong roundhouse kick to the body. And like we said before in the previous combination, it's making sure that once you have delivered that punch, your kick followed instantly and doesn't give your opponent a chance to think or react. So that gap shortens every single time. Once you've delivered that punch, you follow up with a kick straight away. And then this way, your opponent had to think about the punch before then suddenly a body kick comes in and you scored a fantastic 2 points. Now, this last combination is for those who do enjoy a good head kick. We're using a front hand snap punch to set ourselves up and then following up with a half step to perform a reverse roundhouse kick to the head. Now, the idea behind this is the same as what we said before. You have to use the first attack to set yourself up. This has the same principle behind front hand snap punch with reverse punch. The idea is to set yourself up and make your opponent think about the first attack so they don't have that chance to react when you perform a second attack. So using your front hand snap punch to gain your distance is really, really important. If you're too far away, these guys are going to be too far back for you to kick them. It's making sure that you get nice and close and your half step opens up your hip. You don't want to be going forward. You want to make sure you open your hips up and your leg stays nice and close to your opponent. If your leg goes really far out here, one, it's really difficult to kick when your foot's over there. And two, this person will be able to see your foot very easily. So the approach should be exactly how we always do the front hand snap punch. Going forward nice and sharp. When you do the half step, turn your belt away from your opponent, but you keep your hand out. So it's almost like you're trying to blind your opponent with your front hand. If they block it, great. And then it's making sure you keep your leg nice and close. So you're really making sure you keep your knee up nice and high and point your toes past their head, and you can deliver a really nice, snappy reverse roundhouse kick with the bottom of your foot. It's making sure that when you perform the kick, you have your hips and your base foot in the right position. If I go forward and my back foot comes up and I don't turn my back foot or my hips, I'm in a really awkward position in order to perform the kick. When you perform the punch, it's really important that your base foot and your hips turn away, but your hips still go towards the opponent. This way, it's so much easier to lift your knee up and have control of your kick when you execute the kick. So when you go forward, it's forward and then twist your body so you've got a good position to follow the kick up immediately after the punch. You don't want to be going too big, and then this way it's going to slow you down. Like we said, it's that instant step up and kick. Once you punch, your kick goes up. And making sure that you're in a good position when you kick, then this time it's so much easier to get that kick up, especially when you're trying to kick to the head. So try to think as soon as you have landed that punch, your legs should be going up and your base foot, along with your hips, should be twisted, ready to perform that kick. So then that way you get that instant movement afterwards to be able to perform the kick straight away. The hip movement and the base foot really helps deliver that movement with the kick. So then this way your opponent thinks about that punch, and then before they know it, they've been kicked in the head from your foot that appeared from nowhere. Now, before we wrap up, firstly, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And secondly, I'm going to leave you with 2 reasons as to why maybe your combinations aren't scoring. The first one would be that your first attack is too far away. Now, if your attack is too far away, that means your opponent hasn't got to worry about the attack. The idea behind that first attack is to threaten your opponent to make them have to block. So if you're too far away, they haven't got to worry about this, and then they will see the second attack come in, and all they have to focus on is blocking that attack. It's the same when it comes to kicks. If you start too far away, they haven't got to worry about this, and then they'll see a kick come in very easily. It's making sure that you think you're trying to score that first attack to set yourself up nicely to score the second attack, the third attack, or even the fourth attack. The last thing could be that you are not snapping your punch or your kick enough to warrant scoring the point. You've got to be able to show that you have good control of your body to score points in sparring. So what we mean by that is making sure that when you punch, you don't drop your hand or you stay where you are. There has to be a form of recovery so that you attack straight forward before then returning or coming away from your opponent. It's the same with a kick. You can't just leave your leg out and drop it because you're not showing good control of your technique. Same with any ordinary kick. You have to make sure that you've got a good recovery and you snap your kick to show good control. So whenever you punch now, it's making sure you go straight forward and you return nice and sharp every single time. And the same when you do a kick. It's recovering your leg every single time and moving your body away from your opponent. This way you're going to find that you're going to score so many more points so much easier when it comes to sparring.